How are you?
I'm doing good.
You have good sleep?
Yep.
Good. So where is your joy going to come from today, Caleb?
It's going to come from Yahweh.
Awesome. He's the source, huh?
Yep.
Good morning, Josh. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Joshua, what's something that could steal your joy today that you're going to try and avoid?
Self-pity.
Yeah. Self-pity, that can really make you down and out, huh?
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to try and answer a couple of questions that we've gotten a lot in our comments over the last few weeks. The first one is a lot of people have been asking about the Dandy Blend drink that the children and I have, not every morning, but often. And in the fall we like to add a few little things to that drink, so I'm going to share that with you today. Also, there was a lot of interest in how we do our character time in our homeschooling. Over the last year I've kind of developed some character cards, and so I'm going to try and also share a little bit about how I develop those and what we do for character for homeschooling. And also Kip's going to share one last update from our time off. We just had our 2-week break from YouTube, and we tried to get you all caught up in the last video, but there was one thing that didn't fit the video, and so Kip's going to share that with you in this video as well. Alright, so let's get on to the Dandy Blend. Good morning, Esther Pie. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Is Dandy Blend one of your favorite drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is Dandy Blend? It is just a mixture of different herbs basically that you can get. It's kind of like an herbal substitute to coffee, and we get it on Amazon. It's awesome because it's instant. You don't have to do anything special with it except for add water. You can even put it in cold milk. We like to do that sometimes too. The main ingredients in Dandy Blend are roasted dandelion and roasted chicory root, but there's a couple other ingredients as well. And it's gluten-free, non-GMO. We really enjoy it. It is rather expensive, but a lot less expensive than buying a coffee at a coffee shop. And it also has no caffeine, so that works out great for nursing mamas and for children. Alright, the Dandy Blend, I like to put it in a glass jar because it does tend to, when moisture gets around into the bag that you buy it in, it kind of gets all moist and stuff. So I put it in the jar to help keep it dry. I just use this gallon container, stainless steel, and I dump about 8 servings worth in. I don't measure, I just kind of know how much to pour in. About like that. And then in the fall I like to do something special with this. I like to make it a cocoa spice blend, and so we'll add cocoa powder to it and cinnamon chips, ginger root, and turmeric root. And then when it's all done, we put in a little bit of our raw cow's milk and raw honey. And that's basically it. I'm going to put all the spices and the cocoa in, then I'll add our hot water, and at the very end I'll add in the milk and honey. Again, I don't measure, I just dump a little bit in for all of the children except for Naomi. So for 6 of us, we almost fill this up. Probably about a half a teaspoon each of the turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon. And cocoa powder you can put as much as you want in. I like it chocolatey, so I put probably 2 to 3 tablespoons. We don't always have all of these ingredients on hand, so you can make it really simple and just do the Dandy Blend all by itself. Or you can get creative and add whatever you want into it. Alright, so I'm just going to let this steep a little bit since I put the added ingredients in. Remember, the Dandy Blend is instant, so you don't have to steep that, but because I put these other things in, I'm going to let it sit just for a little bit to steep, and then I'll add our milk and honey, and it'll be ready to strain into cups. And that's it. Good morning, J-Bud. How are you today?
Good.
Good. little bit is sleeping in. Poor girl, she was up half the night throwing up. In the second half of the night she was nursing and thankfully she kept that down, so hopefully she's feeling better today. So I'm a bit tired today. But life goes on and it's okay. I know where my strength comes from and that's where my joy comes from too, so I'm gonna press through this day trusting in Him. What do you think? Is it good?
Yeah.
Just want to say thank you to those who have been asking about Esther. She does have alopecia and so does her brother Nathan. Nathan's gotten most of his hair back and Esther Pie will soon. That's our hope, huh? That's what we're praying for. Alright, so we've had a lot of people ask us what we do for our character study in homeschooling. For those who don't know, we're a family of 8, so we have 6 children. This is our Esther Pie. I really think that character study is probably the most important part of our homeschooling because it includes so much. We get into the Bible, we learn scriptures. We just really feel that if our children grow up with good character qualities and they know some really vital scriptures in their heart, then we've taught them probably the best thing that we could teach them. So character study is really important to us. So over the last year I've been making what I call character cards, and I've just taken basically some thick poster paper and then just covered with clear contact paper. A little bit smelly, but that's okay. So for the month of October that we just began, we're on the character quality joy. The way we decided on the 12 character qualities, one per month, one for each month of the year, is we used 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter. That didn't have all of the character qualities. We needed a few more to have enough for one for each month, so we added a few of our own character qualities. So love, joy, peace, patience, and so on. And for each card, we've got the character quality at the top, and then I put a scripture that relates to the character quality. It's got a definition, and then there's a lot of character qualities that didn't fit in our 12 months, and so I chose some different character qualities that kind of relate to the character quality of the month. So for example, for joy, contentment, creativity, and enthusiasm are 3 additional character qualities. And then I put a quote. Sometimes I put a poem on there. And then each month we also do a song that kind of relates to the character quality. So this is really all it is. Each month I have one card and we do all kinds of different things. We read the scriptures, we talk about the character quality at mealtime, we ask each other questions like, how's it going? Are you staying joyful today? We try and keep each other accountable. We talk about the struggles that we're having with that particular character quality, or sometimes we talk about the things that steal joy or that take our joy away. And we just watch for opportunities throughout the day to learn more in depth what the practical reality of that character quality is. What does that look like in real life? And then sometimes I do use this in a writing situation, so I'll have the children write something like, I feel joyful when, or the source of my joy comes from. I'll make up little sentence starters, and in their journal they'll finish the sentence. Sometimes for the older children we'll go even more in depth, and they'll write more than a sentence related to the character quality. It's mostly just spontaneous and a real life learning as we go about our days, but these little cards help me have something to have a foundation to kind of spring off of. Here's the quote that I have for joy. I love this quote. It's by Ann Voskamp. It's, sometimes the slowest way is the fastest way to joy. Life's a gift, just slow. Good morning, Nathan.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Naderbug, what's one thing that makes you feel joyful?
My family.
Awesome. I feel joyful with our family too. That's a blessing from above, huh?
Yep.
Look who's feeling better. You doing better, Biddle? She's ready to play. You got it? That's heavy. That's heavy for a little one. What's your plan? What you want to do? You want to take it out in the garden? It can be really challenging when you've got a little one sick, especially a little one that can't really communicate with you and they're throwing up and not keeping any liquids down. It's sometimes that can be kind of scary. We just try our best to not worry and to just love on the little one. So last night Kip prayed over Naomi, and then I used some essential oils on her feet and down her spine, just a couple drops of it's called Ancient Fortress. It has clove, orange, ginger, thyme, and cinnamon. So just put a couple of drops on the bottom of her feet and on her spine, and then of course just cuddled her a lot, loved on her, and tried to make her feel more comfortable. I've found that essential oils are some of the most effective and easy to use natural remedies. I just love essential oils, and I'll have to do a video in the future on some of our favorite uses for essential oils. But anytime the children have a flu or cold coming on, we use either Ancient Fortress or even just clove or cinnamon by itself on the bottom of the feet. The oils just penetrate right in and start working almost instantly. Look who's making pancakes. You know what gives me joy? You, sweet girl, helping to make the pancakes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi guys, Kip here, Thousands of Roots, and I just wanted to share something that happened over our 2-week break. Something that I think will end up blessing you when I get to the end of the story. I was at work, my regular total high-speed internet job, and I get a call from Carrie and says, hey, I think something's wrong with the solar power. And I said, what's going on? And with my job, I have a lot of different appointments and typically a long drive between my appointments. And she happened to catch me during a time between my appointments when I was driving. Sometimes I'll have an hour drive from one appointment to the next. So, a lot of drive time with my job. But she says, we had a bad smell, and then just like the solar power just kind of died. And I said, oh wow, well what's going on? Can you open up the area where we store everything and take a look? And so she had Caleb do that, and he's like, it's fried. Like smoke was coming out of there, and it's fried. And I said, well, what do you mean it's fried? Like, what's fried? So, let me show you what fried. Look how fried that is, you guys. Am I thankful we didn't have a fire? Yes, I am. This is what fried, our solar controller. And you know what was crazy? Is that she called me before my lunch hour. I went to a place, I was driving right by, I clocked out for a half-an-hour lunch, and I picked up a new one. Well, over $500 later, a new one. Hi, Tweetums. You got some more beans for me? Well, thank you, darling. Okay, thank you. I love those interruptions. So then when I got off work that day, I got off about 7. So it was like a 12-hour day for me. It's miserable hot. I got off work and we started working on the solar. And boy, it was a pain. Because this one was so melted, I couldn't copy it. Like, what wires went where and all this and that. So I had to bust out the instructions because I did this 5 years ago, so I don't remember, you know? If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And so I'd forgotten, you know, what we did 5 years ago. And actually it was me and my father-in-law who did it together. So anyways, Caleb and I had to figure it out. And we figured it out. Except for one thing. We got all the wires in place, but we weren't sure about the wires from the solar panels, which are the wires that when you do any studying on solar units, don't mess this up, it can kill you, they'll say on there. So it's like, oh my goodness, the one thing we can't figure out for sure. We crawled up on there, tried to find out positive, negative, couldn't figure it out. Here's what made it so hard. Even if we figured it out over there, these wires go here, but then they disappear behind the wall. So once they come down into the solar unit where we keep everything, which is underneath here, were they positive or negative? Didn't know. And I'm thinking, man, I might be able to use like a voltmeter to figure it out. The sun was almost gone, so they were generating very, very little power. So I'm going, man, whatever we do, we need to do it quickly. And I'm thinking about it, and I can see when I touch them together, they spark, but just barely. I'm like, oh man, I bet you that's what fried this thing to begin with, was we probably crossed those wires. Because when this thing defaults, when it goes into fault mode, it's blinking fault mode, like when there's a lightning strike and it goes into fault mode, you have to pull those out to reset it and put those back in. So I'm guessing that when we did that one of the times, we crossed the positive and negative, which after time, fried the thing. So, and I realized all this, I'm going, man, this is very important. And Caleb, my oldest son Caleb's like, I know. I can make a salt water mix. You dip both these wires into the salt water. The one that's negative, it will create more bubbles around it. I'm like, what? Are you sure, Caleb? Yep. Okay. We did it. Dipped it in there. And one of them created a bunch of bubbles around it. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And so that's what we did. So Caleb, my son, I'm like, dude, whatever this homeschool stuff you're doing, you keep on, because it's working out. So just had to brag on my son a little bit right there.
Alright, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you to one of our subscribers. Actually blessed us with money to be able to get a P.O. box. A lot of people have been asking for that, so we have a P.O. box now. You can find that on our About page, and then we'll also leave it in the description below. And just a quick note about that, we really appreciate you guys wanting to send us things. However, we are in a tiny house, large family in a tiny house, so please just be thoughtful of that. And we also are working on an Amazon wish list page that might kind of help you better know what we actually need. So that list can be found under Kip Smyth on Amazon, and there's also a separate list in there under his name that's for the Smith children. We really just need to try and minimize the stuff in our little house here. The more stuff we have, the harder it is for me to keep everything going, and we really appreciate those who want to give and bless our family. So hopefully the Amazon wish list will be a help to you in that. We pray blessing over you and yours.
And whatever you
do it with your whole heart.
Oh my goodness.